Welcome to session 1 of module 4 field effect transistors. Now in this module we are going to study the basic construction and working principles and related electrical concepts regarding the field effect transistors. Now in this session we are going to discuss the PN junction field effect transistors as well as some of the multiple choice questions related to the session. Now, the field effect transistor is a semiconductor device just similar to a bipolar junction transistors. It also has a three-terminal device, and the only difference is it uses electric field to control the current flow. Okay, so in the previous semesters, you might have studied about diodes as well as bipolar junction transistors. Okay, so just similar to them, field effect transistor is also a type of semiconductor device or a transistor, but its operation, okay, so it uses electric field to control the current flow. So therefore, this field effect transistor, it has become a very key electronic component, a very important electronic component in many electronic gadgets or the equipments. Okay, so therefore it has been used as a very major component in the electronic industries. So therefore, the idea of developing the field effect transistors, okay, it has started very long back, and the earlier concepts they started emerging in 1920s and 30s, but later on, okay, so around 1950s at Bell Laboratories, a clear picture of the device as well as its working principles as well as its electrical characteristics, okay, so everything were studied in detail and documented. Therefore, these field effect transistors, which are nothing but a very important class of semiconductor devices. Okay. So they come in different varieties also. So generally we have two categories. The other one is the PN junction field effect transistor, or shortly PN JFET, and the other one is metal semiconductor field effect transistor or MESFET. Okay. So the PN junction is fabricated with a PN junction, whereas the MESFET is fabricated with a Schottky barrier rectifying junction. So that is, the classification is based on the junction as well as their structures. Okay. So as per our syllabus, so we are going to concentrate on the basics of PN junction field effect transistor. So therefore, coming to the JFET concepts. Okay. So the concept here is mainly based on a phenomena called as field effect. Okay. So therefore, the concept field effect is basis for this particular device or a solid state transistor. So what is the phenomena, or what is this field effect phenomena? Okay. Because of that, it is getting its name also, like field effect transistor. Okay, so therefore obviously we should know what is this field effect, so why the device is known as a field effect transistor. So here what happens is, a voltage applied to one metal plate, okay, it is going to modulate the conductance of the semiconductor which is under the metal, okay, and it controls the current flow between the ohmic contacts or other two terminals. Okay. So therefore this phenomenon of modulating the conductance of the semiconductor by an electric field which is appearing perpendicular to the surface of semiconductor is known as field effect. Okay, so therefore here the main concept by which the device has got the name as field effect transistor is the application of the electric field. Okay, so the effect of this field is, it is going to modulate the conductance of the semiconductor which is present under the metal layer, and it's further going to control the current between the other two terminals. Okay, and also one of the very important features of this transistor is it's a unipolar transistor. That is, the current flow is because of only majority carriers here. Okay, so because of one type of carrier, the field effect transistor is also known as the majority carrier device or unipolar device. Why it is unipolar device? It is because uh, either electrons are responsible for the drain current or the holes are responsible for the current flow. So because of flow of only one type of carriers, the device is also known as a majority carrier device. Okay, now let us see what is this basic PN JFET operation. And here you can see that the picture shows a cross-sectional view of the junction field effect transistor. It has three terminals: source, gate, and the drain. Okay, these are the terminals, three terminals. Okay, you can just recall the bipolar junction transistor. What are terminals? It has emitter, collector, and the base. But here the field effect transistor, it has source, drain, and the gate. And also the cross-sectional view is showing here N type of material as well as P plus type of materials also. Okay, so this N type of material what we are seeing in the cross section, it forms an important part of the device which is known as channel. And as it is a N type semiconductor material, it is known as N channel. N channel. So this N channel is nothing but it's a region between the source and the drain. So we know the general meaning of channel. Okay, it is going to connect the two terminals, or it is just a space. Okay, so between the two parts or two regions. So here it is the space or the region between the two terminals. Okay, and this N channel is uniform, that is the complete space or the region between the source and drain is N type semiconductor material only. And we also have in the cross section two P plus regions here. Okay, so here P plus means heavily doped regions. Their doping level is much more higher when compared to the N channel. And now in the field effect transistors, these two P plus regions are tied together and they form a single terminal known as a gate terminal. Okay, so and also this gate terminal, okay, it is also known as the control terminal here. Okay, the other two terminals, source and the drain. Okay, so what is this source? Source is a terminal from which the carriers are going to enter into the channel from the external circuit. So it is shown even in the structure also here. Okay, so electrons entering into the source, passing through the channel towards the drain terminal. So therefore obviously drain is a terminal where carriers are going to be received and they are going to leave from that point onwards. Okay, so therefore source and drain are the two terminals, so where carriers enter and where carriers leave. Obviously the gate is nothing but the control terminal, because here whatever the electric field is there which is going to control the drain current flow, that is applied to this terminal only. So therefore all controlling action will be done by the gate terminal. So now in this picture still one more version of the cross-sectional view is shown. So in the picture it is also shown how the two P regions are tied together to form a single terminal known as a gate. Okay, and as the majority carrier electrons. Okay, so why majority carriers are electrons here? Because the channel type is N type. Okay, so this is an N channel device. N channel device. And majority carriers are electrons here. Okay, so therefore as the majority carriers electrons are primarily involved in the conduction process. Okay, so this type of transistor is known as N channel transistor. Okay, so we also have a complementary transistor also, which is known as a P channel transistor. Okay, P channel JFET, where the channel type is P type semiconductor material, and the remaining two regions where gate is formed, they are N plus regions. N plus regions. Okay, so this is the constructional details of the device. Okay, now coming to the basic operation of this device. Okay, here first before understanding the operation, let us know some conventions used here. So here in the picture we find that the voltage levels VGS and VDS. Okay, so here the letters G represents the gate terminal, S is for source, and capital D is for the drain. Okay, so VGS represents the potential difference between gate and the source terminal. VDS represents potential difference between drain and the source terminal. Okay, and ID represents the drain current. Okay, so therefore here all capital letters are used as we are discussing the DC voltages and the DC drain currents. So this is a convention that will be followed throughout the module. Now what is this operating condition? So here the device is operated with VGS equal to 0 and a small drain voltage is applied. That is VDS is plus. A small positive drain voltage is applied. Okay. Now for this condition, okay, so can we expect some drain current here? Yes, obviously there is a flow of drain current because the circuit is completed through the N channel. Okay, so as soon as you apply a small drain biasing voltage, then a small amount of drain current will start flowing. And the nature of this drain current is almost linear as it is shown in the ID and VDS graph or the curve. Okay, so therefore when VGS is equal to 0, even though the depletion regions are there around the P plus regions, but the width of the depletion regions is very thin it is. Okay, so therefore we have a large N channel, the region is available. Okay, so therefore where the majority carriers can flow. So therefore for this particular condition, okay, so we expect almost a linear kind of increase in the drain currents. Now in this second condition, so what happens to this operation when a small reverse bias gate voltage is applied? Okay. So when a small reverse gate bias is applied to the gate terminal, its direct impact is seen on the width of the depletion regions. Okay. So here the depletion regions or the space charge region width is going to increase, and because of this, the effective channel region available for the conduction is reduced. So now as the channel region is reduced, so it is nothing but uh, increased resistance. But in the previous case, even though the channel region was not affected, but there was a very finite amount of resistance was there. But now in this case, when reverse bias gate voltage is increased from 0 to a value called minus V1 volts, okay, so then the width of the space charge region has increased. So because of this, the available channel area for conduction is reduced. So it is nothing but uh, increment in the resistance value. A lot of resistance is offered to the carriers, so thereby the rate of raise of drain current is limited. Okay, and this is evident from the graph also. Okay, so here you can see the ID VDS characteristics. It is shown in the dotted lines. The first curve is for VGS equal to 0, and the second curve is for VGS equal to minus 1 volts. So here in the second graph we can see that the slope is slightly uh, it is decreased. That is, as reverse bias is increased. Okay, so the rate at which drain current used to increase. Okay, so it's been now limited. Now in the third condition we will see what happens if the gate voltage is still increased. Okay, so when the gate voltage is still increased, so then the depletion region or the space charge region is going to grow in size, and its width increases, and it increases till the point where the channel is blocked. That is for some values of gate voltages. Okay, say for example minus V2 volts or minus V3 volts. Okay, when a sufficient reverse bias is applied, then the width of the space charge region is so high that it has completely blocked the channel. Okay, now at this condition the drain current is dropping to 0, and this condition is also known as pinch off condition. Okay, so here the depletion regions, they will completely isolate the drain and the source terminals. So here you can see that when VGS is equal to minus V2 volts, okay, so almost for any increase in the drain voltage, so there is no response. That is, ID is almost 0 only. Okay, so now in this graph you can compare all the three conditions. That is, when VGS equal to 0, how the drain current was linearly increasing, and when VGS is increased to minus V1 volts, okay, so how the rate at which the drain current used to increase is now limited, and finally when VGS is still more negative, minus V2 volts, so how the regions have completely blocked the effective channel region, thereby making this drain current 0. Okay, so therefore this is how the voltage applied on the gate terminal is going to control the drain current between the drain and source terminals. Okay, so therefore here coming to the basic transistor action, what we can understand from the basic characteristics is the current in the channel is controlled by the gate voltage. So that is clear now. Okay, so therefore the current, that is obviously the drain current ID flowing in the channel, will be directly under the control of the gate voltage VGS. Okay, and the control of current in one part of the device is done by applying voltage in another part of the device. So this is what is the main feature of these field effect transistors. Okay, so now based on the previous discussion, so let us take some multiple choice questions. So let us check, are we able to find out the correct answers. Now in the very first question what we have is field effect transistor FET is a voltage control device, whether it is true or false. Okay, so obviously field effect transistor is a voltage control device only. So answer is A, that is true. So the voltage where it is applied to the gate terminal, and because of that applied voltage, whatever the electric field is created, that field in turn is going to control the current flow. So therefore solution is A. And the second one, the JFET is also called as dash type of transistor. So obviously what are the options we have? Unijunction, bipolar, unipolar, none of the above. So it is not a unijunction transistor as it is clear from its structure. Okay, then bipolar, obviously it is not a bipolar because the current flow is because of both the holes and the electrons. So therefore that is, as it is a majority device, so the current flow is either because of the holes or because of the electrons. Okay, so obviously the answer here is option C, that is unipolar. So in the N channel device it is because of the majority carriers electrons, and in the P channel device it will be because of the holes. Then one more question is, for an N channel FET, majority carriers flow from whether it is gate to drain or drain to source or gate to source or source to drain. So here majority carriers will flow always from source to drain only. Option is D, because source is a terminal where the carriers are going to enter, drain is a terminal where the carriers leave. Okay, so therefore the solution is D. The next question what we have, what is the value of the drain current when VGS, that is gate to source voltage value, is equal to pinch off voltage. Okay, that is when you give a sufficient gate voltage which can cause channel pinch off, then what is the drain current? Whether, what are the options we have? 0 amperes, 1 ampere, 2 amperes, and it cannot be determined. Okay, so here we know that when the channel pinch off occurs, okay, so it is because of very high reverse bias, and under high reverse bias obviously the drain current will be 0 only. So therefore the solution here is option A. And we have the last question, that is, if the reverse bias on the gate of JFET is increased, then width of the conducting channel. Okay, what is the width of the conducting channel? So options are increased, decreased, remains the same, none of the above. So what might be the answer for this? Okay, so when reverse bias on the gate of the JFET is increased, so obviously what happens when reverse bias is increased? The space charge regions are going to increase in their width. Okay, so when they are increasing in their width, they are actually blocking the effective channel area. So when the channel space is getting reduced, okay, so it is nothing but resistance of the channel is increasing. So when resistance is increasing, okay, so then the solution here is width of the conducting channel, uh, it is decreased. Okay, so therefore the reverse bias is obviously going to decrease the width of the conducting channel. So therefore we have here key answers to the multiple choice questions. So you can refer back to the lecture, and again you can go back to the multiple choice questions, and according to the basic features or the characteristics of the channel JFET, so you can find the solutions here. So with this we come to the conclusion of this session. So in the next session we will see what are the different operating conditions still for the JFET. Thank you.